Whoops. I got the camera on, of course. That's fun. Okay, well. After all those other little videos I put on there, I just wanted to say, I was just checking. I have done 478 videos. I have had 100,798 views, and as of today, I only have 377 subscribers. So, if I had that many views, even with 5% of 100,000, there's no possible way my subscriber count should be that low. But, like I said, I'm not doing this for the money, obviously. In fact, it's costing me money to do this. But, yeah, it's stuff I play around with anyhow. I mean, it's just stuff I do pretty much every day. And the other thing is, if anybody wants to look at any gun videos I'm not doing right now, just look back at my previous videos I've done for the last couple of years. I have a lot more of those out there. The ones I've, especially ones for like the Martini Henry, the 1878 ones, fixing those up from, total, well, after they've been stored over 100 years, just relics that probably would never fire again. Although I got one that may fire again, but the ammunition on those is just so expensive, I'm not even going to bother. And the steel, well, that steel is questionable too for those, because those were made by blacksmiths out in the open. They were not in a regular blacksmith shop. You got to remember, 1878. These were made somewhere around Nepal, so its conditions weren't that great. So I have stuff like that, plus some of the other stuff I've restocked, cracks I've fixed in stocks and that sort of thing. You'll see all those in there too. But like I said, if you want to see any gun videos, that's where they are. Here lately I've been doing a lot more electronic videos because that's pretty much what I have to work with right now. I have a lot of stuff there. I do have one other black powder thing I have to work on, a gun in a garage, and the other stock for the 1916 Spanish Mauser that I was trying to get to work. Didn't work. I kept inletting the thing, and there was just no way. It was just too far gone. So I still need a new stock for the 1916 Spanish Mauser, but as it was, that Mauser was the one that I had to patch some pretty good size pits in the barrel. I mean, it still may work, but I didn't feel right about using it. But anyhow, so that's those things. And then on this current one I'm working on here, I had to get another different light over here because the other one just above was not really showing me much of anything. And as of today, I have ordered all new tubes for this signal generator tracer, and I will be replacing all those. I'm going to test them too. I do have my my other ICO tube tester back here. So, in fact, let me go over here. And there it is. That's it right there. And it does work. And it works fine. It'll be good for these small tubes. And yeah, so there's some odd things in this, but like I was got a message from Doug, and he was saying, yeah, a lot of these things, and when they made these things, the engineer decided to go ahead and change what they had put inside the equipment, and somehow it didn't show up on the original circuit diagram. Like right there, there's this 2.047 capacitors right there. Well, this is not in the in the circuit diagram. There's a third one in there. Why? I don't know. It goes from ground to this other terminal strip and is connected in the same place. So why they put 3 of them in there now, I don't know. So I'm probably going to take that one out. I'm going to test these and see if they look like they're precision capacitors, but I'm going to have to check them anyway. But they're not falling apart, but I guess I'll have to check, make sure they're not leaking and everything else. And then some of these others, the wax caps over here down the bottom, we'll probably have to replace those. It'll be a little harder to get to, but hey, we got to do it. So anyhow, that's pretty much what we're doing here. I'm going to have to go ahead and use my good old friend Mr. Soldering Gun, because my other soldering station, it's really made for smaller circuit boards and stuff. So anyhow, that's just going to be it for now. I've talked long enough, and we'll talk to you guys later. Well, here we are again. What you're looking at right now is the bottom of the Hallicrafters SX101 receiver, and I have started replacing capacitors on it, especially things like this big one. This is a Tiny Chief, and a Tiny Chief PJ 4P5, whatever that is. It's a 0.5 microfarad 400 volts. Well, I didn't have that, but I had something close enough. This is a 0.68 microfarad 400 volts I put in there. And I am going to next, I'm going to pull out some of these ceramic disc capacitors, especially the ones coming in from the in the power line, like right here. Feed my finger down there, right there. I should get a pointer myself, but anyway. Yeah, those normally don't go out, but for some reason, when you turn this thing on, it turns my breaker. It blows my breaker. I don't know why. And yet I have it with everything else I use, and it doesn't do that. So I'm thinking there's something wrong with these two caps on either side of the 117. So I'm going to change those out with this, which is also 0.01, but this is actually at 1600 volts. These are 1400, so kind of a lot, really. I mean, most of the others on here are like only for 400 volts and all, but anyhow, so I'm going to replace that and some other stuff. And that's what I'm going to do here. And next we'll go to the, I'll show you the backyard, I think, next. So I'll stop this video here and go out in the backyard and give you a look at my lawn that should be dying because it's like been in the 90s every day out here, but I use a lot of water on it. Here is my backyard. I have been trying to keep it green. I have had to go ahead and patch some areas in because Mr. Doggy has made some burn spots in my lawn. So I've had to patch those back over here. But for the most part, it's getting a lot better. And of course my trees, if you look at my fruit trees up there above my 70-foot long retaining wall, those trees I planted when I moved here 8 years ago. And that one there at the end is an Italian plum. The one next to it is a red peach. Next to that's an Asian pear. And then next to this one, this is another peach tree. And then at the end, that is a nectarine tree. The nectarine is the only one that has never produced any fruit whatsoever. All these other trees actually have fruit on them right now. So anyway, I just mowed the lawn today. It normally gets pretty high real quick. So, of course, Chubby just loves running around out here. Oh, yeah. Yes, he does. Oh, yeah. He just likes to. And The dogs next door normally chime in, but there he comes. Whoa! There he goes. Chubby! Whoa! This is the other reason why my lawn gets torn up. He runs back and forth, makes a groove along my fence line. Anyway, we'll go back into the other shop now.